It's time to get heated up for this video because we got March Madness hot takes for this 2021 season. It is going to be an amazing video. I came out with my bracket yesterday, had an absolute blast doing that. It is the perfect bracket, so definitely go check that out. If you want a perfect bracket, if you want to split Warren Buffett's $1 billion with me, go watch that video, and you can pick my bracket to have the perfect bracket because I guarantee you, it is my perfect bracket. It might not be yours, but it is mine, and it is going to be the perfect bracket this year. But we got hot takes today. We got 5 hot takes for this March Madness. What is going to happen starting, what do you want to call it, Thursday or Friday? Thursday, if you want to count the play-in games, the first 4 games or whatever. You have like UCLA, Michigan State, you have Drake and someone. You have all those like 16 and 11 play-in games. And then Friday is when March Madness officially starts. I have school Friday, but it's online school. I'm going to be parked in front of the TV watching some amazing basketball game. It is going to be a good weekend of just sitting back, relaxing, and watching some good basketball being played. Let's get into hot takes. It is warming up in here. I had to put a t-shirt on. Final Four t-shirt. I got my Final Four t-shirt. This from 2017 when my Gamecocks made the Final Four. What a run that was. What a run. Obviously, it didn't do that good this season, but what can you do? We made it a couple years ago, and I was more than happy with that. So let's get it. Number 1. What is my number 1 hot take of this March Madness? Let's start off with number 1. There will be a 12-5 upset in the first round that is going to be an absolute blowout. Like, the game is not even going to be close. It won't be down to the wire. The 12 team will just be in control of the game the whole time. Now, let's take a look at some of the 12-5 games we have so far. We got Creighton, UC Santa Barbara, which I actually picked UC Santa Barbara in my bracket. Creighton had a really, really rough last game, and I'm feeling good about UC Santa Barbara taking there. You got another 12-5 game in Georgetown, who won the Big East. That's a team that is really hot against Colorado. You have Oregon State versus Tennessee, and then finishing up, you have Villanova versus Winthrop. I honestly believe I have a couple 12-5 upsets in my bracket. I honestly believe that one of those games will be a massive, massive blowout. Not in the sense that, like, the team's going to win 100-10, but, like, you're going to see the 12 seed be in control the whole game. We see 12-5 upsets all the time. It is not an uncommon thing to happen in the bracket. It's just picking which one's going to happen, and I really believe that this season we will have a 12-5 upset where that 12 seed is in control for the majority of the game. That is my first hot take of the video. Let's move on to our second one. Second hot take of the video. We have an 8 or a 9 seed will knock out a 1 seed in this bracket. So you got Gonzaga as your 1 seed. You got Baylor, you got Michigan, and you got Illinois. And some of the 8-9 games starting off from the West, you got Oklahoma, Missouri going to the South. You got North Carolina, Wisconsin. You got LSU, St. Bonaventure in the East. And then in the Midwest, you have Loyola, Chicago, and Georgia Tech. Lots of good teams there. If you look at the 8 and 9 teams you have there, I see lots of good teams. The ones that I want to point out specifically, or at least who I feel really strongly about in my bracket, LSU for sure, coming off a really good game. They finished runners up in the SEC, but they had an amazing game against Alabama in the SEC championship. They would play Michigan if Michigan goes on to most likely beat at the 16 seed, and they play them in the round of 32. And then also Baylor versus North Carolina. That is, if North Carolina goes on and beats Wisconsin in the first round and Baylor beats Hartford in the first round, North Carolina would take on Baylor. That's another team that I feel really strongly about. This North Carolina Tar Heels team, I have them as kind of a sleeper team in this bracket. So that is another hot take of mine, that we will see a 1 seed get knocked out by either an 8 or a 9 seed in the second round, the round of 32. And my guess is North Carolina or LSU. I could also see Missouri. Missouri is a team that I'd also have under my radar. Definitely watch out for Gonzaga. I know Gonzaga is the top rated 1 seed, but Missouri, I feel really strongly about. Wisconsin, too. Georgia Tech, they won the ACC, so they're another 9 seed. I just see lots of good 8 and 9 seeds that have the potential to go on and knock off one of these 1 seeds, and I honestly do believe that it's going to happen. Hot take number 3. We will see a double-digit seed in the Elite 8 this season. Now, a double-digit seed, if I need to explain that to you, I don't know why, but basically anything 10 or up, 10 to 16 is a double-digit seed. We will see one of those teams in the Elite 8. Now, in my bracket, I picked a very, very controversial team. I picked Rutgers. I just wanted to pick a 10 seed. But you look at some of the 10 seeds you have. Maryland is a team. If they could get by Alabama, I think that Maryland is definitely a team that could run it to the Elite Eight. They're going to have a better path going on as long as they get over the hump of Alabama. You're going to play Texas most likely after that. You could even see out of that same region, Michigan State or UCLA. If one of those two teams get hot, they're both an 11 seed. Whoever wins that play-in game could also see one of those two going to the Elite Eight. You look at some of the other ones that I look at. VCU's one that I see could be a sleeper out of what conference are they? They're like the Eastern something. Who else you got? You got some good teams in here. You got some good 11, 12, 13's a bit of a stretch. 13's a bit of a stretch, even though I do have 113. I'm not going to give it away in this video. You can go watch my bracket prediction. I have a 13 seed doing very well, but lots of good higher seeded teams, double-digit teams that I could definitely see making a run for the Elite Eight this season. Give me number 4, hot take number 4 of this video. For March Madness, the first game of all of March Madness, it's already set. We got Virginia Tech and Florida taking it on. That is a 7-10 matchup. Florida being the 7, Virginia Tech being the 10 at 12:15 on CBS. The first game of probably what, in my opinion, is going to be the craziest March Madness we have ever seen, because we are in the craziest year going from a season where we had no March Madness into this season where I feel like all the hype is around March Madness. We are so happy to have it back. The first game of March Madness, to kick it all off, we will see a buzzer beater in the Florida-Virginia Tech game. These are two very talented teams, and I think that this will be a hard-fought battle all the way to the end. That will just top it off. I have no clue who's going to win. I think I picked Florida in my bracket. I have no clue who's going to win, but it will end in a buzzer beater. What better way to start off March Madness than with a buzzer beater in the opening game? I think it's going to be an amazing thing, and I honestly believe it's going to happen. I believe all these hot takes are going to happen, but that's why they're hot, because not everyone thinks that. Number 5, perhaps the biggest hot take of all. We're moving to the national championship game. We're moving to what I don't want to say. I think majority of people who pick the bracket, the first 2 rounds are really exciting because that's where you have the most games. That's where most of the bracket action happens. But if you're a fan of a really high caliber team who is actually making a run for the national championship, a 1 seed will not win the national championship in this bracket. I see lots of good 2 or 3 seeds that have a legit chance at going on and winning. Alabama, feel really good about. Iowa, you have Houston. Who's the other number 2? You have Houston, Iowa, Ohio State. Forgot about them. Arkansas, I feel really good about. You have Kansas. You got lots of good basketball teams in that 2 or 3 seeds. And maybe even we find a 4 slide in there. Illinois, Michigan, Gonzaga, Baylor, all amazing teams. One team that really jumps out to me, if anyone's going to ruin this hot take for me, I think it's going to be Illinois. If there is going to be a 1 seed that's going to go on and win the tournament, it is going to be Illinois. But I honestly believe that we will see for the first time in goodness knows how long, because we had, who was it last time? Virginia was a 1 seed. Villanova was a 1 seed. North Carolina was a 1 seed. Villanova was a 1 seed. Going back till forever, it's been 1 seeds, always winning the tournament. I think this is the year that we're not going to see a 1 seed win for a long, long time. So that is my video for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. March Madness is just around the corner. We are bringing you guys tons of content, so make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment anything about your own hot takes. I'd love to hear about those. Thanks for watching, and definitely come back next time.